All right, we're going to do a video analysis here on Daniel. About a month into the program, sent a few videos, made some tremendous progress. So let's see what we got here. Thrown off a mound, very nice to see. We'll take him into his leg lift. Rides that hip down. All right. So see some good stuff, see some stuff we can definitely improve on. So let's start from the top. Right here, leg lift into getting into that back hip. Looks great. Right, we get to that balance point. We see a little bit of back leg flexion right here. Right, see that back leg nice and loaded. Get that hip going down the mound. I think we can do a little better job of being in this position here. Right, being at that balance point. And then instead of coming down, because it looks like you're just collapsing that back leg to load it, right? As we do that, we want this hip to pop forward a little bit as well at the same time, right? If that makes sense. I can explain that to you a little further if you want, just let me know. So instead of just having this down force where it's like we're sitting and then kind of trying to go forward that you see here, we want to do that kind of at the same time. So as you can see right here, you see a little bit of the hip coming forward, but it's mostly just going down and then forward. Right? So that's something we definitely want to work on. Now from here, getting out of the glove nicely, right? Arm path looks good. What I see is the eyes right on target. Excellent. Front side looking a lot stronger, going towards the your target, towards home plate. Front leg, pretty closed right here. That's awesome. Back leg, locked and loaded, ready to explode. And the arm in a good spot. All right, so now as we take it a little further, what I like here is eyes still on target, good. Front side perfectly lined up. Front leg, starting to open up a little bit. Right, starting to swing out a little bit, which is going to cause you to leak a little bit in the hip. But you do make up for it with the back hip rotation, I will say. So it's not terrible, but it does look like this front leg is swinging a little too much. Right, what I mean is we're here, and then you're swinging it open. But you are getting some back leg drive. It just seems as if when you're opening that front leg, it's open, right? We're here where your front leg is open, if you could see in this position. See how this front leg is completely open and your back leg is still loaded. And then we get into front foot strike, which isn't bad, I will say. It's not a major issue, but it's just something that as we progress, we want to be aware of, right? Because as you see this knee come down, right, that's causing the hip to fire right here, boom. And then as we enter front foot strike right here, your hips are completely open towards home plate. Front foot is nice and stable, right? Lower body's in a great spot. Right, everything's going towards home plate. Now, what I don't like, if you could see right here already, is how you're kind of dropping your arm. Right, so we're here. Good arm path so far. Right here. And then we're leading with that elbow back like we talk about. It looks like you're getting a little too high with it. Right, where you're pulling that elbow way too high. You're kind of going back with the elbow. Right? It looks like you're going back behind yourself instead of just straight up like we talk about in the drills. Again, I can give you some more tips on that as well if you need them, Daniel. But what's happening here is because you're going behind you with the elbow, it has to compensate when it comes through. And now when you get to this position here on this frame, you can see your elbow is actually lower than your shoulder. So then what can happen is, what we see right here is it's almost as if you're pushing the baseball because your elbow is below your shoulder. You see right here, it looks like a push as we come through. If you just look in this super slow frame right here, when you're in this position and coming through, it's almost as if you're throwing a dart, right? Instead of getting a good strong follow through, that elbow is very, very low. Very, very low, and then coming through at the end. Right? So we want to correct that. And how we correct that is we get our elbow in a good position here. And then follow through with our arm. We want our elbow like here if our shoulder's here. And then that's going to help us get more of that downward instead of the pushing that we're getting right here. Right? And then with that, the front leg looks stable. I will give you that. Lower body looks so much better. Right? You're landing on that front leg. You're stable as can be. Not slipping. Not falling off. But what we want is to get enough power from this back leg that it's coming up and over, which we're seeing it a little bit, but I think you have more power in the tank that you can use. Front side, very clean. I know that was something we talked about recently. You've definitely done the work on it, right? You're reaching towards the target and then tucking nicely. It's keeping you stable, it's keeping you in line, right? And you're in a position here upon ball release, right, where your angle's pretty good, right? So the next steps for you are going to be to clean up that arm at the end, right, as you can see right here that we just talked about here. We got to get that arm higher, that elbow higher. It's going to help you throw a lot harder and a lot cleaner when we get that elbow higher. And then as we get this back leg a little bit stronger and you're able to really fire it even harder into front foot strike, you'll see this start to lock out, right? So this will lock out and we'll get the hips and the trunk going forward more, which I'm not worried about. I think that will eventually come very soon as you continue to progress, because this lower body did not look this good even a week ago. So that is huge. But again, the biggest thing for you, Daniel, is going to be cleaning up that arm right here, getting it up to a good position, and then being able to not push the ball here. Right, if you could see what I mean. I'm happy to send you some more resources on it. Just let me know. I look forward to the progress you're going to make in the next breakdown. Keep up the good work. We've made some good progress, but we got a long way to go, and I know you'll get there. Awesome job.